look yet? Oh, beautiful fresh shed. So look at this. Oh, but this is the Enhancer Genetic Stripe Clown. Hey everybody, Billy's Mutation Creation. Today's video, we're gonna talk about
thermostats.
There you go. I'm sitting there looking at it. I'm like,
I was looking at it too.
I just had a brain fart. I don't know. But that's why Austin's gonna do this with me. A lion's on camera. Before we get into thermostats, probe placements, how we do this and what we recommend. Huge shout outs like always. Oops. Blue Jar, Pythons. Team Billy, MC Big Boss. Go give Miranda a follow, not slacking on the back. I love the design. It's the actual back of this.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Very creative.
It's amazing. And shout out to the whole fam. The jar Python fam.
Yep. And we got Reggie's Urban Jungle. Nice hoodie. I overwear this.
And instead of showing this one off, we're gonna show this one off. Bam!
Bomb Projects.
Bomb Projects. Are they slacking? I think they got the little logo. No, they're slacking like us.
Is mine slacking?
Hold on. Yeah, yours is slacking too. It's okay, man, because that's already the bomb. Mm-hmm. Shout outs to KG and D.
We didn't plan this today.
Yeah, they did.
No.
Just happened.
Remember back in the day when we were doing videos, they would actually show up. They had
That's what happened today.
The same shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least you're covering it up. But anyways, let's get back to the video. So, we did a video like this, I would say 3 years ago at the old facility, and I still see people doing things in our eyes incorrectly, and they're not doing it right. And when it comes to heat and animals, especially snakes, they don't mix very well. So, I guess we'll talk about the thermostats first.
Yeah.
So, I believe, you know, especially if you're into this type of racking, you're spending the extra money. I do believe you should upgrade to a professional thermostat. There's many on the market. There's the VE, Freedom Breeder. I prefer Herpstat from Spider Robotics. I've used them for so long. These ones here are the Herpstat 2. They're the spider webs. They're connected Wi-Fi. So they're on my router. I can access them and have notifications through my Husbandry Pro app, as well as through the app that comes with it, and we can control it. I get notifications if it's too high on the parameters I set. But Inkbird is a good, I mean, you've recommended it too for a lot of beginners.
It's a good option if you have a smaller rack. It doesn't have the same energy output as like a Herpstat, so you're gonna be demanding a lot of energy for one of these racks, and Inkbird just can't put it out. So.
Yeah, it's good for like the Malamine or the PVC,
Yeah.
especially like the 10, the smaller ones. And you really have to look at that, because some people are wondering why their thermostat's always at 100. It's like, it shouldn't be at 100. Can't see what mine are at now. My eyes.
Let me see.
This one's at 24%. This one's pushing 0% right now.
So that means they're perfect. And another thing while we're there, you don't want your thermostats pushing 100 all the time. That means that there's something wrong. It shouldn't. When you first plug it in, it'll be 100, so it gets to that range, and then it should be fluctuating very low, not at 100. If there's 100, something's wrong. But we'll just go with our temps. 94 at the bottom, 92 at the top. The reason is we have 2 zones or 2 probes on our units. I believe we do the bottom 6.
Yep.
Maybe bottom 5, we'll turn it around and look. But bottom 5 or bottom 6, it's always cooler on the bottom, so we have that at 94. And then the top ones are on another thermostat, on another probe, on a separate power bar, and that's 92, because heat rises. And you know, some people try to perfect every level to get it. There's going to be variance no matter what you do, unless you really get a probe per level. Overkill. I mean, it'd be expensive, but it'd be a great idea, but very, very expensive. So, yeah. If you're gonna upgrade, go with bigger rack. You should upgrade. I mean, they're $200-$300, $400 in Canada. Yeah. You know, maybe $450. But the value of the rack, of the animals, the safety of the animals, and you know, if they're running way too hot or too cold, they may not breed, they may not eat well. Males, especially too hot, it doesn't make their sperm viable. So what we'll do now is we'll just rip this apart like the back. We do it like this. We turn it this way. No, leave it. So if we turn it like this, this is how we have it. So right here, the bottom is 94. It covers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on a separate power bar. These come, I love these because it has a fuse on and off, and it has a 10-foot cable. So they're great because you don't really want to have a small one to another power, to an extension cord. So I love these ones. And then the next one is right here. So if you notice down here with the probe, I put another zip tie here. So that's in case if something pulls, if a snake gets out, because sometimes they do that, or even a rat, if it comes out and it goes like this, and if it pulls, it'll pull this out. So right now, it's almost like a backup. And up here, what we do, Austin's already ahead of me. He knows what we're doing. So here, we left this. So see this? If you look here, it's just on the tape, but I can actually pull this if I wanted to, and it would come out. So what we want to do is just have a secondary precaution. So what I do is I take this, I go like this. And if you don't have zip ties or want to do it like this, you can always use a secondary piece of the tape.
I would use duct tape. Something that really sticks.
Yeah.
Gorilla tape.
The Gorilla tape, all that kind of stuff. That stuff works great. So then what I do, I just do this. Put that back. I secure this here. So now, now it's got a little bit tighter. So now it's got that second area of protection. And I do this. That's garbage. So there, now if a snake comes and pulls, it's not gonna, or a rat, or if it gets tangled on something. And then I also zip tie both of these, so I have like a little bit of a loop. It's not really stretched. It's not really, you know, really tight. So it's nice and loose. Same thing here, here, up here, and everything else is good that way. So always make sure you have two different power bars. These ones here obviously for the top, these 6 here for the bottom. Make sure the probe is plugged in to the right one, because we've done that by accident where the top one was on the bottom and this is like, why are these not working? You got to have them on the right ones. Another thing too is the tape. The best tape, I've seen people use electrical tape. After a while it gets, you know, it's rubbery and it's soft. With the heat, it just flies out. This is aluminum tape. Okay, you get this from any hardware store. This is meant for ductwork. So if you look up here, ductwork, a furnace, anything like that, they use this to seal, because when it heats, it doesn't expand. It's not very soft, and it has a very good grip. But what I do want to go into is the placement. You notice how we have ours placed directly on
The heat panel.
the heat panel. Not underneath, not floating, not in the tubs. I know that I even used to do that back in the day. I used to put it in the tub. So what would happen is I would drill a hole in here, and then I would put the probe in, and then I would take the probe to the inside of the hot spot, but I wouldn't use it. So back in the day, it was a little bit cheaper. When you have a nice rack like this, you want to use all the spots. To have just a spot that is, you know, the probe sitting there, I wouldn't want it at the top anyways. I'd want it sort of here in the middle. So now you have everything working but one tub, and it's just a waste in my opinion. Plus you got to drill a hole because you can't get if you go in here and you crunch the wire and it's, you know, if someone opens it, the more you open it, you're gonna wreck that wire. I've also known people, I don't know about now, but back in the day where they used to put it in and they used to cover up, you know, the wire and everything, and they put bedding on and they used to put a snake in. But I mean, that snake could always move around, get behind it. But worst case scenario, they used to feed live rats. So what's the rat gonna do if it doesn't get eaten right away? It's gonna go around and pick and chew that wire, destroys the whole purpose of it all. So my recommendation is right on the panel, secure it, use the proper tape.
And if you don't have a heat panel on your rack, put it directly on the heat tape or a heat cable.
Yes. You know, and what else can we talk about?
The last thing I want to say about the probe is a lot of people put the tape on it in different ways. And I think the best way is to have it very snug. You see how it's hugging around both sides? A lot of people will just slap it on and you'll have air traveling between.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so basically, here's the probe. It'll be like this.
Yeah, it's not snug
It'll be snug. What I do is I basically put it down once and then I squish it so it's nice and tight. So even without this, I can pull and it's not really coming out.
Yeah.
So
that way you just get a more true temperature, because the other way you can get some air flowing through and it might make it actually cooler than what it really is.
So little tips like this, I would hate to see somebody, you know, lose animals,
Lose out on breeding.
lose out on breeding. Another thing too is, you know, if these males or animals are running too hot, you're more apt to get slugs. All that work and all that time and having females slug out or males not producing viable sperm,
Or
you know,
in extreme cases, if it's really hot, egg-bound females.
egg bound. Also, they could get burnt.
Yeah.
You know, the scarring. Yeah, it's something that, you know what? Oh no, that's never happened to me. No, it hasn't, thank God, but it could. Another thing, what we try doing around here, every week or two. Okay, no, we actually push it back. So every week or two, we go and we look at the thermostats, make sure, because sometimes a thermostat could be out. We also like to check. Austin runs around with the top of the heat gun, but look at your animals. If you open up every tub and every animal is at the front of the tub, there's a reason why. Probably because it's too hot. One thing that we do that we find it very, you know, on almost a daily basis, when we take our tubs out, first thing I do is I grab and put my hand almost where the tub sits on the heat panel. If it's like, whoa, it's hot, you temp gun it, it's probably super hot. So, you know, little things like that, you know, taking your tub out, feeling if it seems too hot or even too cold, like, hey, there's no heat. Look, because that's even happened too.
Yeah.
Some panels just burn out, or a snake maybe escaped or something, or you pull the rack out and one of the leads to the cable that connect to the heat pad maybe broke off, or, you know, it's definitely good to check, but it's a lot better to have these animals too cool than too hot.
Yeah.
You know, what else can we talk about quickly before we end it? Just
I think we covered most of everything.
yeah, placement. You know, why we do two. Oh, another thing too is I used to do Herpstat 6s. So for example, here's 3 racks. I would put the thermostat here, and I would go thermostat probe 1, probe 2, probe 3, probe 4, probe 5, probe 6. What I did notice sometimes is the Herpstat 6 only has a certain amount of power outage, and sometimes if there was a power failure or something, or you know, I have to move a rack and plug it back in, it would take a long time for that thermostat to make sure all 3 racks were great. Plus, if I ever had to move a snake got loose, a rat, we had to move a rack, or especially back at the old place, we were moving racks around to fit newer racks because we kept buying more racks. So we would move it. But when you move it, now you've got to unconnect stuff and all these extension cords. Pain in the rear end. Here, because there's 2, we can move this right now and actually put it to the very back if we want it. So I prefer having 1 thermostat with 2 probes per rack, because if this Herpstat 6 went, even though it has fuses or something, say something that I could not fix immediately went down. Now I've got 3 racks not being powered. So, yeah, that's that. I think that's it. I think we got it. I mean, if we missed something, put it in the comments below. We always miss something.
Oh, well, you can start telling them about the next video we're gonna do with these racks.
Oh, okay, yeah, so if you notice, everything in here, well, most things, Austin still hasn't got his Husbandry Pro labeled printed, but he's got it in the system.
Yeah.
All mine have my labels and QR codes and soon coming NFCs. This here is the collection that Austin purchased a big chunk of, and myself and Nash Demorph split. So we left the original stuff on. We do have it on Husbandry Pro. We just don't have the labels, so everything's being, you know, monitored there. The breeding plans, we are already breeding. We also have a lot of cool snakes in here for our present and for our future. So we'll talk about that as well in another video. And yeah, we actually have it out here because this here is the animals, and they've been here for a few months now. I think we're on the 3rd month, maybe even 4.
Yeah.
So now, you know, we've been observing it. It's away from our other collection. It gets, you know, clean in you know, a certain day that the other collection isn't, and we'll go through stuff like that and even show you some of the amazing animals we picked up and even talk about some of the pairings we've done.
I think we should give them one animal for a sneak peek. Just the one, this one.
One animal for a sneak peek, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna do this one. I think they've seen enough of it. Well, I might show them too if the other one's out of shed yet. Okay, so here we go. You know which one it is, right?
Yeah. It's the one I was hoping you would show.
So this one here is an enhancer piebald.
A little piece of
A
shit.
little shed? Enhancer piebald, and it is 50% genetic stripe. So if it proves out G-stripe too, oh, I'll be super happy. But look at this thing.
Yeah, the colors on that one, insane.
Enhancer pied.
Comment down below how you think this compares to the DG version.
It's beautiful. Now, sneak peek. Let me see. Don't look yet. Oh, beautiful fresh shed.
Shed.
So look at this. Oh, speaking of sheds, I'm gonna take this and gonna put it in our. So here's how our shed, and I also got some stuff here. If you look here, this is the bags that we use. We're sending these in for our testing here up in Canada to help, you know, further the whole thing along. But this is the Enhancer Genetic Stripe Clown. This male is going to be breeding probably 4 or 5 females this year. When these things come out as a baby, this head is bright orange. Can't wait to put other genetics like leopard, enchi, some of the darker stuff.
Mahogany.
Yeah, we got stuff of that. We could get the clown in, you know.
Hypo in there.
So that's the big boy. Nice fresh shed, nice big poop. So that is awesome. So we'll go through some more of that stuff on another video. And yeah, hope this helps. Because, you know, we put a video, like I said, 3 years ago at the old facility. If somebody doesn't watch it and they set it up and they think they're doing it right and they're wrong, it could be devastating to the animals and to your mindset, your financial thing, your goals. It's really shitty to see animals suffer and people suffer because of a little mistake. So hopefully if they watch this and, you know, if you have done it incorrectly, oh my God, let's fix it right away. And if new people come in and see it and move up from the normal, you know, racks that they have to the new ones, here's something that they can see. And, you know, invest in the best. These animals deserve it. The thermostats, the racking, you know, whatever type, even sensor pushes. They're in the other rooms, but sensor pushes, anything that you can do to secure these animals and give them, you know, the best that they can. And anything else?
Maybe even for like an extra precaution, you can go to like to any pet store and get those little thermostats with the probes on them. You might want to put one on the front of your rack so you always have a temperature reading with the the temp is on the heat panel. So you just have an extra look just in case your Herbstat or whatever
Fails.
thermostat you're using fails.
Yeah, or something. I mean, you know, you can never have enough precaution. So that being said, hope the video was great. Hope you liked it. Hope, you know, somebody's out there going, wow, I better change it right now and
Get on that.
get on it right
Yeah.
away. And anyone else, you know, future coming in, upgrading or getting into the industry, it's good to know and not make mistakes, because even people that have been doing this for a while, something screws up or a probe falls out and you don't realize it. Tragic, you know. You usually find out when it's too late, and it sucks. But like I said, we're looking and doing temps. You know, you pull the animal out, you feel the tub. Okay, that feels normal. You know, we're looking, making sure that's good. And you know, he does that every once in a while. Spot check the temps, and
I think right now is a good time for everybody watching the video. Just go check your temps just to be
double
sure.
check, yeah. Because we've even had it at some times too, where we've gone in and you know, we set everything where if a probe comes out, because if we're moving a rack or we do something, if the probe comes out, beep, beep, it makes that noise, set those, because you want to be aware as soon as that probe gets loose, or if something gets wrong or a rat is out or chews that thing, you want to make sure that when it loses connection to the probe, yeah, you know. So, like I said, hope you liked the video, hope it was informative. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, keep the comments coming in, and see you next video.